Montgomery County Police were called to the scene of a shooting on April 24, 2017. There they found the body of 37-year-old John Wesley Wofford. He had a single gunshot wound to the chest. As investigators processed the scene, they received a call from a tipster who reported that detectives needed to speak to Wendy Lynn Johnson. When police looked into the tip, they learned that Johnson had been seen fleeing the area of the murder with her boyfriend, William Allen Batchelor. Detectives hauled both suspects down to the station. After questioning Batchelor, police turned their attention to Johnson.
2017, approximately 6:22 a.m. Detective Curtis, Ranger Derek Wagner. We should interview Wendy Johnson. Got a street right there on here. Appreciate you coming in. It's been a bit of a difficult night, but we got to get the formality out of the way, okay? So you have the right to remain silent, not make any statement at all. Any statement you make may be used against you at your trial. Any statement you make may be used as evidence against you in court. You have the right to have a lawyer present to advise you before and during any questioning. If you're unable to hire a lawyer, you have the right to have a lawyer appointed to advise you before and during any questioning. You have the right to terminate or stop this interview at any time. Do you understand the rights that I've read to you? I need to, yes? Okay. Do you knowingly and voluntarily waive these rights and willing to speak to us today? Okay.
I don't know what to do. Do I need a lawyer?
Myself and my partner here, we can't give you any legal advice. All we can just do is read that to you and ask you if you want to waive them and you want to talk to us about what happened tonight. That's all we can do with you. And I know you're scared, and I wish there was more that we could say and do, but honestly, there's not.
I don't know what to do.
You want to clean it?
No.
That, I wish, like I said, I wish there was more that I could explain and stuff, but we can't. But obviously, there's some formalities that we got to take care of and some procedural stuff, and we have to read those to you. And it's completely up to you, is whether or not you want to waive those and you want to talk to us about what happened tonight. Okay. You'll be all right. I'll reventilate on you, okay? We made it this far, okay? Take a deep breath, okay? We're not pressuring you into making any type of decision, okay? Katie? Go ahead.
Why am I being arrested?
We want to talk to you. We do. But we have to go through the formality like that. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that we have to read to people, and they have to understand what rights they have, okay? And in light of why we're here, I have to get an affirmative response or a positive response from you as to whether or not you want to just sit and talk with us. You talk to us? Okay. Well, The way I like to start things, as far as interviews go, is basically tell me what happened from your own perspective, your own remembering of the events.
I know that I was afraid of him.
Afraid of who? Okay.
I was afraid of him coming out there. He kept screaming at me. He kept screaming at her. He's always screaming.
Screaming at you?
Samantha.
Oh, Sam. Okay.
He started doing these weird texts on my phone. I was like, what? And I know he was in trouble with his mom. And I kept hearing things Sam would say, like, he did this to his mom, or he did that to his, I don't know. He got to really scared me.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with those texts. And they were random and out of the blue. I'm like, what is this? And so, I was in my house, and Cody says, Wes is here, he's not supposed to be here. My landlord didn't want him there. He said he's not welcome here anymore, he's not allowed here. He never wanted him there. Because of all the stuff that he was supposedly involved in, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cody grabbed my gun, and he ran out there, and I was like, oh my God. And so I looked at him, I was like, surely he grabbed it, and he went out there, and I went out there behind him, I was like, you took a kid. And I said, Wes, you need to leave, and Cody was telling him to leave. I was like, Cody, you've got to go. I think I hollered, somebody call the police, please. I reached down to get the gun out of Cody's hand, and I got it. And I came up like this. And I guess Cody had already pulled the hammer back, and it went off. The same time it sounded, and it felt like I got hit right there. It didn't hit him in the head.
Take a deep breath.
Take a breath.
You got, Wendy, you guys were over at your house there on Portland. Yeah. When you first got there, where were you?
In my house.
Was that little fifth wheel? Who all was in there with you?
Beth and Cody and Will.
Who'd you say the first one was? Beth?
Yes.
Beth.
Is she okay? Is everything okay?
Yeah. So Beth, Cody was in there with you guys. And then who else?
Will.
What's Will's last name? How do you know him?
Because I seen him.
Yeah. What were you guys doing in that trailer?
Well, visiting. His truck had been stolen, and we felt like it might be stolen again, you know, or I don't know, per se, because we close our gate. Block
Or
it.
Lanedale?
And so we thought that Will could use my truck, my blue truck, and he could leave his there. And so we were getting ready for all that, and we were going to go. Next thing I know, Tony says, Wes is here. And I said, what? And that's when Wes came.
How long had you guys been over there?
Oh, God, I don't even know. A couple of hours maybe? I don't remember. Or
Just hanging hanging
Oh,
out?
yeah,
There was some alcohol out there. Everybody drinking or?
I had a little, maybe Beth had a little, I don't think Cody did. And I don't know if Will did or not.
Any drug use? My partner, we're not the drug cops. We're just trying to, we're trying to get a feel of what happened, okay? So,
No drug use.
no. Will,
No drug use that I know of.
you yourself.
No drug use.
So Cody, he was outside, or where was he at?
He was in the trailer and then he was closer to the doorway. And that's when he said it.
Where was Beth at?
Behind me? I think, I can't remember. Or maybe, I don't remember. She was somewhere right there. I mean, it's small.
Inside the trailer.
Yes, inside the trailer.
So, when Cody told you guys, was it you specifically or everybody
Everybody.
that Wes was there? Who did what?
Cody, him and, or what, or he, but I don't remember. Maybe he was outside, or he must have been, because he knew Wes was there. Came in, announced it, and then reached and grabbed my gun. It was sitting either on the, no, it wasn't on the table, it was on the bench. He reached over, grabbed it, and out the door he went. And I was like, and that's when I was like, he didn't, he apparently did, so I went out too.
Mm-hmm.
And then Will and everybody else, what did they do?
Beth, I don't know. I don't know.
What about Will?
I don't remember.
When, have you talked to him about what happened?
Will? I don't remember anything until I got where I was, and I was just, I don't know.
So y'all went over to the car. Was
I took the gun from Cody.
Was that Wes already out of his car, or was he
He was in his car.
sitting down inside? And then, what happened from there? What were y'all arguing about?
Cody had already told him, you need to leave. And I was like, Wes, you need to leave, you're not supposed to be here. You can't be here. And I said, call the police or stuff. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I said, call the police. And I said, Wes, you have to leave. Don't get out of the car. And
Did he have his window down, or?
Yeah, he had the window down. And I knew I had to get the gun from Cody. He's only 20, that's all I could think he's going to.
What was he
before
doing with it?
he reached and grabbed it.
I know, but what was he doing with it? Did he have it down by the side, or?
Down by the side. Yeah. Because I reached down to get it.
So you reached and grabbed it from him?
Yeah.
And you said just because he was 20?
I didn't want him to do something. You know, boys at that age, they seem to get, I don't know, fly off the handle. I don't know. I don't know. I always just kept thinking that he's only 20 years old. What if it goes off, or, anything can happen with a gun.
Right. So you got that from him?
I got it from him.
And at that point, Wes was still sitting in his car?
I did. I got it from him, and then I came up. The door was open,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was already scared of him, so I was like, get back in the car, and I reached to pull the hammer back. So I wanted to get back in the car. You need to leave, and it looked like he had I don't know. And I reached to pull the hammer back, and it was already back, and then the gun went off. I didn't on purposely pull the trigger. The gun went off. If that makes any sense.
No, that makes
I
sense.
was not.
That makes sense.
What happened after that?
I don't know.
When that happened, when you said that the gun went off, where was Cody, where was Wes, and where was... William. Where's William, Cody, and Beth?
I think Cody was, I don't know, I can't remember.
Okay, what about Sam? Where was she at?
I don't know. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's okay. So you're right there by the driver's door?
I guess in front of it, help. The window was down. The window was down when he pulled up, and it was, yeah.
He goes by Will, right?
Will?
Yeah, or William.
Will?
Yeah. So when you guys were inside and he came out, do you remember what, if he said something?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
Where was he in reference to you?
What was it?
Where was it?
Where was he?
Mm-hmm. When you guys came out of the house?
I went out before he did. If he even, I don't know if he went out or not.
You remember?
I'm assuming he went out.
You remember seeing him by the car, by Wes's car? You said you've been dating him for a while? Have you ever seen him with any guns?
Where's the gun from tonight?
I don't know.
I know this is... I know this is pretty traumatic, and I feel like I've been nothing but nice to you, and you agree. You know, we had a nice little ride over here, and so it's important. It's important that you're honest with this, okay? And I know we know a lot about this. Obviously, my partner and I, we've been up all night working on this and working on this. So we learned a lot. Okay, that's got us to here. So it's real important that we know the whole story, especially from you, because you were, you were it. You're right there. Okay. So it's not so much we know it happened. It's kind of why it happened and how it happened. So, do you remember Will having a gun?
And just to add on that real quick, we don't know each other, right? You and I have never met, and up until tonight when Ranger Leitner brought you up here, you guys hadn't met, I'm assuming, right? So, one of the things I think we both agree with is, honesty on both sides. Honesty from us to you and you back to us is important, okay? It shows credibility, it shows a willingness to cooperate, and so on, okay? Now, you appear to be very upset, and I get that, I understand that. I think Ranger Leitner understands that, okay? We're human beings too. I understand that there's emotions involved in things like this. But right now, this is a kind of an imperative time that we're dealing with, because I'm the one that has to write all this up, okay? I'm the one that has to tell the story, if you will. Okay, and you have a direct impact on that story and how it gets told, okay? And you have, it's one of those things, it's a bar that you have to reach of being credible, okay? And being trustworthy or honest, right? And it's important you understand that this is your one opportunity to make sure that we get your version of the events on the record, okay? So I want you to think about that, okay? I understand that you're probably confused and you're upset and all these different ranges of emotions are going on, all right? But it's really important that we get the whole truth through, okay? Because if there's gaps, you know, I can't, I got what I got, you know what I mean? I can't put a spin on it. I gotta work with what I got, okay? So I think you're obviously being cooperative. You're talking to us, okay? But I want you to understand the importance of the honesty factor. Okay? And I'm not saying you lied to us thus far. I'm just saying for me, you know, for this whole process, the honesty thing is a big deal. Okay?
Do you remember Will having a what his gun looked like? Like a rifle style? Hey. Wait, you're gonna be more. Alright. Hey, Cody's a kid, right? Did he ever even have the gun, or did you bring it out from the house?
Cody grabbed it. He's a kid. Took from him.
What was Will doing with his? What was he doing with his gun?
There or
Yeah.
no?
There at the car when Les was
I do.
there. What kind of stuff was he telling you, Les?
Honest to God, I don't know.
Pretty chaotic, or
Yeah. Everything like you believe.
was Will pointing his gun at Wes? Was that it? Was he on the same side of the car as you guys, or on the other side? Kind of like to the passenger side. Beth never came down there to the car, or where was she?
I don't know. I don't know.
What about Sam?
Sam came, and then I remember seeing her, and then I don't remember seeing her, and then it was like I saw her again. I don't know. I really don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember anything that Wes was saying?
I think I asked him something else. I mean, in the midst of all that, why did you send those weird texts to me? This is crazy. There's something wrong with you. I said, I think I said something like, I was afraid of it, but I was afraid to hurt. Well, you should hear the man scream.
How was he acting tonight? When he was sitting in that car?
He was calm, but he seemed like that before. And next thing I know, he's come crying at the house. He wants to be back there. He put his hands on me that. I'm like, thinking to myself, what do you want me to do? I can't do anything about it, but I walked from there.
So, did you ask him that after you took the gun from Cody?
That was when I first walked up. I think, yeah, it was when I first walked up. And then and I was like, you need to get back in the car, you need to get back, or not get back, you need to stay in the car, you need to leave. You're not allowed here. You're not welcome here. You need to leave. And I don't know what order I said on it, but I said on that, and I said, somebody call the cops. I remember doing that. I don't even know who I saw. I just wanted somebody to call the police and get him out of there.
Yeah.
And to the point that it's crazy. Hurt him, killer, I don't know.
So he was still in that car, and then you took the gun from Cody.
Yeah.
And what did you say after you had the gun on you?
I don't remember. That was when it seemed like I reached. Cody was here. It seemed like I reached somewhere in the midst of all this stuff. And I hit Cody's hollering, and I'm telling let's leave, and then when I came up. The door, it was like the door was open and he was rising up, and then I swear to God, I thought I saw something in it. I don't know if he had something or not. I'm not going to say it was a gun because I don't know, but there's that on top of everything he's done. I'm terrified of him. Just got the gun. I didn't know the camera was back.
How often did you get the opportunity to shoot that gun? That was your gun, right?
Shot it twice.
Why? You keep that on you all the time for protection? Pretty familiar with it.
Like, not actual firing of it. I shot it twice. But, I guess so.
So Cody was to your left, like towards the front of the car?
I guess, like, maybe we were, the front, the hood, like the hood, this is the front of the car.
Or your right drive?
And Cody and me are right here, I guess, and then this the door, or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember exactly.
When that gun went off, what did you do?
It's like I was like this, I don't know, like that, because it felt like something hit me here. And I guess I turned around, I don't know what I did. I guess I turned around and then.
Did you know right then that Wes had been shot?
I was like, I don't, yeah.
What did he do?
I don't know.
Once you realized he was shot, what did you do?
I was like, it's like it wasn't, it didn't really happen.
He will say anything. What do you think?
Come on, get in the truck, we gotta go. And he had my hand, and he let me, We left.
You remember you having the gun in your hand? What did you do with that? Did you take it in the truck?
I must have.
What y'all talk about when you got in the truck?
I don't remember. I said, we gotta get out of here or something, and he said that he loved me, and that he wouldn't leave me, and I remember thinking, why would that happen?
Why was he so adamant to get out of there?
I guess because of his background. What he said.
When did he tell you that?
In my truck, I think. I don't remember.
He was driving. Where'd y'all go?
To someplace, I don't know where it was, and we just sat there, and I was like, I'm scared out. I didn't mean to, and I really didn't mean to.
What did he tell you?
He said, don't talk loud words. And he said because of the background, but kind of implied, don't tell him I had a gun. So I guess I was kind of trying to protect him. But I've told the truth. I swear I've told the truth.
Did he tell you not to talk to the police about his gun?
Let me guess. We're
Deep. All right.
I just figured we got out of here.
You
And I feel like it was. He scared the heck out of me.
Do you remember where you guys went in the Saturday?
No, I don't. I don't. I didn't recognize.
Was it far away? Or just right down the road?
I don't know. I must have walked a while. I don't know.
So y'all parked in the truck and talked?
Yeah.
Underneath the bridge?
No.
Was there dirt piles by you?
No.
Y'all just sat in the truck and talked?
We told him. He had mentioned we had just started talking again. And he said that he found himself feeling disorder. And so we were, like working out the argument or whatever that we'd been into. And we were okay. And then I don't know. I don't know. I just prayed. I hope she'll be okay. I hope he is. And, I was like, you know, I wish we could just get away for a couple of days, and I'll talk about them again. I said, what's gonna happen? And he said that I was gonna get manslaughter, but I didn't need to.
Why
And
did
then
you
he
say
said, I don't know.
you just came up with it?
Yeah, and then he said, we gotta stick together,
So he knew. What did you tell him happened?
the same thing I just told you.
So he knew you shot someone? Right, that you had
He knew
shot?
there was a shot, yeah,
Right.
he knew.
You told him that you had shot?
Cause I was facing him, listen, he was facing that way, so he had to know.
Right, you felt like you saw it, he knew. And so y'all just talking, he said we need to stick together, is that what you said? What was,
I said, just, you know, see if you can call someone, and just, you know, we'll go, you know, get together for a couple of days. And I was okay. And, he said, okay. And he acted, I don't know, he started acting really weird, like, I don't know, are you gonna call somebody? You know, are they gonna come out, what happened? You know, do they know where we are? You know, I said, and he just kept going on. And I was like, you know, I love you, and you said you love me, and then he was acting so weird, and I don't know, we just thought that he started acting really weird. And then, we walked, and,
y'all left the truck,
yeah,
y'all were just walking in the woods,
walked over cows,
house?
yeah, and it was muddy. And,
Did y'all take your gun with you?
I don't know, at that point, I don't know where they are. I don't know,
Do you remember doing anything with them?
no,
So, you feel like they're still in the truck?
maybe.
And I'll tell you why it's important to me, because I have a 6-year-old son. Maybe y'all go in the woods or something like that, and there's some little kid out there.
I understand that, but
That's why
I don't
That's
know.
important.
I understand that. And,
And you got kiddos,
yeah,
so you know how important that is.
honestly, I don't know.
Did y'all stay together when y'all were walking?
For a little bit, and then, he got the phone, and, he called, Vicky, who I suspected he had been having something to do with. And he told her, baby, and I was thinking, really? And so I talked to her for a second, and then he kept saying, I don't know what he was saying to her, and I was like that, and I was like, okay, so my suspicions were true, I'm going to turn myself in. And he was like, no, stop. And I said, I'm just going to turn myself in. I'm going to turn myself in. I will walk.
Something else stood up.
I walked.
What did you?
At any point in time today, tonight, tomorrow, did, you ever indicate, or did you attempt to harm yourself or anything like that?
No.
I need to be clear. We cover a lot of different topics. I just need to know if that was ever
No.
consideration on your part.
No.
You need some more water? Okay. Give us just a minute, okay? And we'll come back, talk with you some more, all right? Is there anything else though besides water? You need to go to the bathroom, anything?
What?
You want a piece of candy? We'll come back in and talk about what happens next. But just give me a few minutes and like I said, we'll come back in, okay?
Wow. just have a couple clarifying questions, okay? So you said you took the gun from Cody because he's young and like 20, right?
Yeah,
Just in case it went off. Okay. So why did you point it at Wes?
because that's when the door, you know what I mean, it went from to somehow or another, I don't, to threaten him, because it scares me. I didn't want him to get out of the car, it scares me. I didn't want him to go.
Okay. Did you aim, or was it a point?
It was like, and by the time it was, I mean, literally, there was no,
Right.
I wouldn't have done that because I think once, I just went up and then felt that it was, and as I was doing that,
Could you have cocked it? Could you have pulled back the hammer? So it might not have been Cody then.
oh, no, I thought you meant like physically, what, am I able? Yes, I
Right.
can, but it,
You
no,
just-
it wasn't me, it was already back. And that's what I was thinking, I was like, what the hell,
Yeah,
like
you
that
made that
thing.
movement.
Yeah. And then it,
So when you guys were together in the truck talking, did Will tell you what the plan was to do with the gun?
mhm.
Seems like, he had quite a few plans on it, what to do.
I think he was, I don't know what he was doing. I think he mentioned this a couple of days, and I was like, grabbed on, I was like, could we? We just worked this out a couple of days, and then, I would turn myself in. And then he threw it on the couch, just started giving coaches.
So he didn't mention what to do with those guns. I think he did.
You didn't mention him.
Right.
But I think, wherever we were at,
Look, if you and I
I
got
honest to God do not know.
if you and I got in my truck, and we go out and figure it out, it's pretty important that we get those guns back.
I know you probably don't think I'm telling the truth, but I don't know where. There's somewhere there, as far as I know,
Somewhere, where's there?
that, where the gals are. So I don't know where that was.
So you remember where I picked you up? At that house? And you rode in my truck on the way?
Yeah.
How far from there?
We would go out for a ways. I come out of the road and I went right.
You came out of which road?
The road where the cows were, and I went right.
And then down 242 you walked? Down the
I went
shoulder?
there. Yep, that was 242, I guess, yeah. Yeah. I was at 100 cars past me.
How far did you walk down past those cows? Did you walk through the pasture?
Well, to get away from the cows to the road.
And you remember seeing him hide those guns?
I didn't see him hide them.
But he told you that, hey, I'm gonna go hide these. And where were you guys at?
In the truck.
In the truck? And you got out? And where'd he walk up?
I got out the door and went to the left in the field.
Do you remember any houses nearby?
Well, can I ask you something? Why did you ask me if I tried to harm myself?
I actually asked my partner that we're just making sure you do. So he never told you where he hit him at? You just saw him walk? And did you see houses nearby?
We were at a house that he knew, but we didn't go in.
And so he just hit him out of the
No,
field, or?
there was cows.
Anything else landmark-wise that you saw, like a cell tower or a church or?
I mean, whose house was it? He said he knew it. That was important. Actually, what you want.
I think that, those people would get in trouble.
If they don't know, if they have no idea that he did this, they're not in any kind of trouble. We want to be able to locate the guns.
What did he say?
He said you know where they are.
Naturally.
Whose house is that?
His daughter.
His daughter's house.
What's his daughter's name?
Who?
Pooh?
Who?
And then like Pooh Bear?
What's her daughter's name?
I don't know.
What's her last name?
I don't know. Is his daughter who?
Do you remember what road she was on?
Somewhere around Fire Tower, and that's not that.
You come down 242 and you take a right on the fire tower. Like if you're coming from Logan.
I don't know that. I don't know. Was that fire tower that I came off of?
No, that was
If I turned, no. If I turned right and I was down that road.
So, here's where you were. You're at a house like right here. This is Krovic Road. And then there's 242. And then this is Fire Tower. Do you remember going across a bridge?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so there's a bridge like right here on 242.
I did, yeah.
So you walk there.
Yeah, because I saw the houses and I knew it. I just wanted to get to the phone.
So, you guys were down here on Fire Tower somewhere.
Somewhere around there.
Do you remember what he did with those guns in the house?
He went out and he went, I don't know, honestly, I really
Did he go inside? Or did he
No,
go outside?
no, he didn't go inside. He was gone for a minute, so, I don't know. And then, after I left, I don't know,
Did you see cars outside?
there was a truck on fire. I want to say it's a little gold car.
What kind of truck, then?
I want to say it's a white Dodge, but I'm not positive.
He tell you not to say anything. So you don't want to get in trouble.
You never went in. That's true.
You took off walking from there. Don't get in a fight.
After the whole, if he started acting weird, I'm telling you, like he thought that I was gonna, what do you say, roll him? I was like, what are you talking about? He said, you know, you just have to stick together, you have to stick together. I'm like, well, what else would we do, you know? he said, no matter what they tell you. And I'm thinking, you know, what did I do so wrong? I mean, I know what I did, okay?
Right.
I don't, but I don't hate him. Do I wanna know?
I'll just have, so here's my only hang up, okay? And I want you to be 100% honest. And this doesn't change how it happens, okay? This just make sure that Cody's not gonna get into trouble or like, I know, but my only dealing, did Cody actually bring the gun from the house? Or did you bring it out there?
He brought it from the house.
Are you 100%
I'm not
sure?
100% sure, but I know he, should I lie for him?
No, you should never lie for anybody. You should always be 100%.
From the house, and I took it from him.
Okay.
Where did you take the gun from? Take it from him. Where were y'all at?
At the
In
car.
the whole property?
At the car.
You were at the car?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he was already at the car, saying, you need to leave, you need to get out of here right now. Yeah. I mean,
You had asked me earlier, after you mistakenly asked, Ranger Leitner here, earlier, why we asked you, or I asked you, had you tried to harm yourself or otherwise. The reason why I asked that is, we were led to believe that that's what you were attempting to do.
what? When?
That you had gone off into the water and weren't going to come back.
What?
So that's why I asked the question. Because obviously, regardless of the situation you're in presently, we don't want anything bad to happen to you, of course. So we have to ask those questions, all right? And like I said, we were led to believe that you were going to harm yourself.
No, I wasn't gonna harm myself. I walked off because I was like, well, no, I wasn't gonna harm myself.
Yep.
I walked off.
Well, I mean,
went to that house, and
well, and that's what I'm saying, and the fact that you went to that house, you called for help, indicates to me that you weren't going to harm yourself, because if you were going to do that, why would you call for help?
exactly.
So that's why it didn't really make much sense, that we're being told one thing, but your behavior is demonstrating another. You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure that we just close the loop on it and make sure that you have no,
I've had,
idea.
in the past,
Mm-hmm.
I've had, thought of it.
Okay.
And so I guess, I don't understand why I would say it, why I would bring that up. I guess maybe, I don't know.
Wes, come over there, sell some dope.
That's a possibility, but, I spoke to Samantha earlier in the day, and I think he was there to pick up a credit card with a 5,000 limit on it. I don't know.
Who's credit from?
I guess apparently his. I said it was his. And I was like, they've been fighting so much, I yelled at her, I was like, what are you thinking? You've got to stay away from him. I said, look at how he does you. I said, you really think he's going to give you any of that money? I said, and because she wanted some money. I was like, what are you thinking? I said, the way he talks to you,
and nobody was doing any dope in that trailer house. We found a lot of revenue and a lot of paraphernalia, so I kind of find it hard to believe that nobody was doing any dope there.
Every once in a while. Not like we're,
Yeah. Today,
hmm?
today, before this happened.
I didn't have any before it happened. I don't know about anybody else.
Sure.
I'm sure.
It's a pretty small trailer.
I know.
So, I mean, I find it hard to believe that if somebody is doing it inside the trailer, that the rest of the people in that trailer aren't gonna necessarily know about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
There was some there. And, I had done some way earlier in the morning, and I hadn't had any.
we could do that.
Mm-hmm. And so
Does Will use that?
What time did you take it last?
it was the morning, early, probably about 10 or something.
How long does that usually last for you?
A day, I don't know.
So you kind of stay out.
It's not like I do it all the time.
Right.
Sometimes.
Right. So when you do it, it affects you all day.
Not really effects, it's just kind of, it's like drinking a cup of coffee.
Keeps you a little wired up.
Just a little. Motivation, you know. What do you mean by wired up? It doesn't.
Well, like caffeine.
Yeah.
You know,
Like, yeah, you
No,
just,
it's just
like when you drink a Monster.
like a boost,
Oh, no,
you just got a
like
boost of
Monster,
energy.
no.
Boost of energy.
It doesn't do me like a Monster. I don't like Monster because it's like, no, I don't think that.
Okay.
Is there anything that we should have asked you that we didn't?
Tell you what.
Wes,
About Wes? He's dead. You want some tissues? Some more water? I know it's a lot to take in.
I didn't put it down.
Agreed.
I didn't. Should I get a lawyer? I don't know what to do.
It's completely up to you, okay?
I don't know what to do.
We're gonna conclude the interview
When the,
at, I got 7:42. 7:42. On April 25th, 2017.
what did he have in his hand? Was it?
Do what?
What did he have in his hand?
We don't know. We don't. Yeah. I can't answer
I'm alone. I'm scared.
We'll be back in just a minute. Just relax, breathe. We'll be right back, okay? You okay? Need something? You need to go to bed?
I don't know what to do. Can I have a lawyer? Can I have my husband? Can I have someone?
Yeah. Just have a seat for a minute, okay? Like I said, I'll be back with you in just a minute. We'll talk about what's going to happen next, okay? All right? Just bear with me for just a couple minutes, okay? Wendy? Okay, I need you to stand up for me, okay? Okay. Go over here. Your hands behind your back for me. Here, you try to get your sleeve up a little bit. When we get back to the booking area, they'll let you make a call. I need you to bring your arms over the okay? Okay?
So what am I being arrested for?
Right now you're being charged with murder.
Oh my God. I
Okay?
didn't murder him.
Just tell me what the charge is, okay?
William Allen Batchelor was charged with tampering with evidence and unlawful possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Wendy Lynn Johnson was convicted of manslaughter and was sentenced to 20 years in prison.